I can't wait to annoy
nothing
you
more to
all
say.
so much with my opinions.
We know that your opinion on this is wrong, though.
I think I'm in the right.
Got deluded.
Yeah, you're in the harsh minority.
Maybe I'm just seeing something that you boys aren't. Maybe I'm,
You might have just watched a different cut of the movie.
I've tapped into something else.
I would not be
you guys just aren't
surprised
seeing.
if you told me next week that all this time you've been blind and deaf.
Explain a few things, wouldn't it?
You're severely hard of hearing, so Vin Diesel's acting sounds amazing to you.
Oh, Vin
His
Diesel
voice
is
is
the
so
only one.
nuanced.
So subtle.
Can't believe his real name is Benjamin.
His real name is Mark Sinclair. Did everyone know that?
Real name is Benjamin
He
Petrol.
changed it to Diesel.
He changed his name to Vin Diesel, and he stars in a movie about cars.
He played the long game. He thought one day they're going to be making
One day I'm going to fucking make it.
a 25 film franchise about cars.
I hope we
And
get to
they'll
25.
Never look for anyone else but me.
Yeah, about cars, but it won't be cars. It'll be something else.
It'll be anything but racing cars.
Yeah.
Because all the racing cars bits are the worst bits about car racing.
They'll do 3 films of it, go, that's enough. And then do
Change it
too
again.
many more.
Yeah, they'll do 2 films and then be like, oh, fuck this, let's go to Japan. Then they'll go to Japan and they'll be like, oh, fuck this was shit. Let's go back to what we were doing.
I can't talk. I'm very fragile today. I went to bed at 5:30.
On a school night.
On a bloody school night? How irresponsible of me. Oh, my voice. Right. Fast and Furious first, is it?
Yeah, go on.
Yeah, let's get it.
Yeah. All right. Hey, guys. Welcome back to the Keepin podcast. I'm James, joined as always by Jack, Calvin, and Reese. This week, we're talking about Fast and Furious 9, Black Widow, and the finale of Marvel's Loki. So let's just get into it. Let's talk about F9, the Fast Saga. Maybe is this the best or worst title in the franchise so far? I can't decide. They had the audacity to call this movie F9, the Fast Saga.
Oh,
No, the worst
I didn't realise that was the title.
No, I didn't realise that. That's made it worse.
Because is the first one just Fast and the Furious, and then the second, and then the fourth one's just called The Fast and the Furious?
No, you've got mixed up.
So it's The Fast and the Furious.
And then number 4 is just Fast and Furious.
Well, that's stupid. Why
it's brilliant.
The fuck would they
it's
do
borderline
that?
genius.
Why would they just get rid of
No,
two
the
words?
best title is Fate of the Furious, because you see it was an F and an
It's just
8,
so sad.
it was the 8th one, and they
clearly
thought, oh my god, Fate. It's brilliant.
No.
It was so sad that they clearly ran
when they
out of
do.
ideas on the 4th
Nothing
film,
to do with the movie.
but then still made 5 more.
It's brilliant. So I
And
think
they got 2 more in the pipeline.
yeah. Oh, filming back to back.
Because we like Endgame.
Pretty much. Oh, I
They're
hope
all
they
gonna come out.
call.
All going to come out of portals.
They're definitely going to call the next one like FX or something, aren't they?
No, it's going to be Fast 10 your seatbelts. That's what it's going to be.
Don't give him credit for that, Reese. John Cena came up with that.
Well, whatever.
No, I came up with that long before John Cena.
I reckon John Cena
believe
stole
it.
that from Jack. I reckon he did.
No, after Fate of the Furious, I was like, I fucking got it. Fast 10. There's nothing you can do with 9, which is why they just buckled and did Fast 9.
F9, the Fast Saga.
F9.
Beg your pardon. Right, so I think we all know that I'm a sucker for all this shit. I've been
You're more than a sucker.
Fast
You're
Five.
a
Fast
mega
5
fan,
changed
least.
my life, and I love these movies. They are, I think, you gotta know what you're going into with these, and if you weren't a fan before this one isn't going to be the one to win you over, because this is one of the stupidest, most absurd movies I've ever watched, and I thought it was borderline art. I think there's artistry to how stupid they are, and it's brilliant. And
Shut up.
is fantastic. I genuinely think the only person involved with these movies who doesn't understand what they are is Vin Diesel. He genuinely thinks these are something, they are high art. They're
That's
not
what
in
you
that
think
regard.
about them.
No, they're not in that regard. Vin Diesel thinks these should be like nominated for Oscars. That man is delusional. He's deluded. But there is something about them that I'm like, people like these for a reason.
I think Don Cheadle deserved that Emmy more than these deserve Oscar nominations.
Yeah. Don Cheadle's 2.5 minute
Cheadle
performance
get nominated
in
for an
Falcon.
Emmy for like 20 seconds?
Must be a slow year.
It was guest performance though, wasn't it?
Right, but come on.
But I think
Even
it was a
he
guest
was like-
performer. It's a guest
even he was like,
performance and a
"What the
cameo,
fuck?"
like two
Yeah.
different things in there.
Awful. Anyway, we've really gone off the rails here. F9. I want to hear Reese's thoughts on Fast and Furious 9 first.
You know what? I went to see this one, and right off the bat, I was confused because
What got you?
I can't remember the last one I've seen. I turned to Jack either during the film or at the end of the film because they start talking about how Vin Diesel's kid's mother is dead.
Yeah.
And in my head, I was like, Michelle Rodriguez is the mum. And then she wasn't. So that's all I was thinking about. And always through the film, I was like, who is the mum?
Chris Hemsworth's wife.
Yeah, I Googled it afterwards. And to be honest, I think that thought process in my mind was more entertaining than the film I watched. Because
I don't know how you can't be entertained by this.
I think you can have really silly, ridiculous, like, things happen in a film, but still have a plot that makes some kind of sense.
Okay, right. Yeah, the plot in this is what the fuck was it?
It's like some sort of device.
There is
yeah.
there is another device.
Classic, it's the classic doomsday device that like takes over all the
It's like a
weapons that they go
Bond
in.
villain-esque device.
It's just a device that is, only there to cause set pieces. It's just action scene to action scene, and I'm fine with that. For me, that's okay.
I didn't feel the action scenes were like that abundant in this film. There was a lot of like quiet down like moments with just characters who characters in this are
it's all
so
about family.
written.
I just think in films
they just say something about family, then stare at each other for like 25 seconds.
Is that not what you do with your close friends?
I just think in 9 films, whether we liked him or not,
Technically 10.
10 films, Vin Diesel's brother would have come up at some point. I know we didn't like him. I know we killed his dad or whatever.
He wasn't his brother anymore, Reese. He'd been kicked out of the family.
So ridiculous. If I ate someone, I talk about him all the time.
Yeah, but the
him,
difference
right?
is, Reese, they only came up with this concept
Yeah.
now.
Do you want them to be hinting at this in the first film?
Well, listen, if you're gonna make 500 films, right? I want a through line, okay? I want something.
You were watching the wrong series.
I know I am, and if we weren't doing this right now, I wouldn't have seen this kind of shit. All right.
Oh, I love how much you all hate it, Jack. What did you think of F9?
It was just piping hot garbage. It was stupid. And I was quite excited going into it because I do like how garbage some of them are, but this one was just too far. The first 5 minutes, Letty and Dom have unexpected guests to their home, which I assume has never happened in this child's life, because as soon as they get guests, they put him in a bunker and they get fucking shotguns off the wall. That's not an environment for a child.
It's been safe.
And
well, it's not fucking safe.
Kid is like not phased either. This kid's like, yeah, all right.
Remember what we said, Brian, which isn't a child's name. Why would you call him Brian if Brian's still alive?
I think it'd be a bit on the nose if they called him Paul Walker.
Yeah, but why would you name
it's the same sentiments, his best friend.
Why would you name your son after your best mate when your best mate is still alive? That's something you do when they die.
They don't go on deadly missions together anymore.
Also,
that's the same
that's
thing.
a bit shit, isn't it? That Brian,
we have Brian.
We're led to believe that Brian is totally fine with his best mate and his wife going on a really dangerous mission. And he's like, yeah, I'll watch your kids, don't worry about it.
Yeah, I'm an ex-cop, and I've done.
I know they can't. I know
like
they
9 of
can't
these
do anything
missions,
about.
but
Yeah, I
fuck it.
don't know what else you want from that.
Yeah, but I know they can't.
literally
actually
Kill him
harm
off.
in the film.
Kill him
Yeah,
off. That is
kill
in
him off.
such poor taste.
Yeah, but you know, it's
Awful.
It was
just
in poor taste to make 2 more films after he died.
they make
He
it seem
should've
like an
just-
asshole
yeah.
in this.
They're continuing his legacy.
And
He
then,
would have
No.
wanted this to happen.
No, he wouldn't have.
He would have done.
He's like, I'm the star. Me and Tyrese are Too Fast, Too Furious. We were the stars. And like, also, I don't really appreciate the end because it's literally John Cena just being a terrorist, and then that other man, like
Yeah.
that financier,
Yoda.
betrays him. Yeah, and then so he betrays him, and then John Cena turns. And for Vin Diesel, that's good enough. Like, he didn't turn for good reasons. He turned because he was betrayed.
Yeah, that is purely like, if I can come up with a better idea of how to get, like John Cena should have seen the errors in his ways and where he's gone wrong. And oh my God, what am I doing? But no, he just literally gets fucked over by the people he's working with, and that's why he turns.
Yeah.
So it's not of his own volition. He's just like, oh well, fuck. I bet.
No, why in these films do they always put characters like Charlize Theron in like prime situations where they can like manipulate them?
In a glass
it's
box.
Like-
a film.
Just like muzzle her or something.
Put
No,
it in a
shut up.
concrete box.
Like just do something because they know how smart she is. And they're like, this glass box will be all right.
If I was Charlize Theron, I would love doing these movies. She stood in a box for a bit and then sat in a jet
In a
simulator,
drone. Yeah.
and then that was it. And she must have been paid millions. It's just that is a dream gig for any actress or actor.
Is it?
Well, yeah. I bet she worked for 2 days on this movie, and she's all
Also-
over the
why-
posters.
This really bugged me watching the film. Why did they use so much CGI for simple things like Vin Diesel having to run? There's bits where he's running on roofs that you can film. They filmed stuff before. And like, I get CGI, the jumping or whatever, but when he's literally running, why use CGI in it? Vin Diesel, I'm sure he's capable of running.
Maybe that was
the
him.
heights.
Maybe
I
he is.
doubt
Well,
it.
maybe he's scared of heights. But it's just ridiculous. It's so ridiculous. I was watching. I was like, that's very clearly not Vin Diesel. It was so badly done.
One bit that really killed me. So when you see the guy from Tokyo Drift,
Han.
it says a lot about like the
other
main
guy.
character from Tokyo
Oh
Drift.
yeah, right, yeah.
Lucas
Can't remember
Black,
his
is
name.
it?
Luke, yeah,
Black.
yeah.
So it says a lot when I think Carl turned like it's like they try and do like MCU style
that?
stuff.
Yeah.
Like, oh my God, that's Doctor Strange. But Carl literally turned to me and was like, who is that? And I didn't even know his name at the time. I was like, he was in Tokyo Drift. And also, we're expected to believe that film was supposedly set in 2014? Is that it?
2013, yeah.
2013. So in this film, this was like filmed in 2019. So in 6 years, this man who couldn't drift a car is now building jet propulsion to send a car into space.
And he's also aged 20 years.
Oh,
yeah. Why am I
Not
supposed to
good.
believe this? He was like a teenager.
Yeah.
Well,
And he
well,
couldn't
no, he was
drift
a
he
teenager.
couldn't drift the car.
that
That's why I
looked
didn't
30.
recognize him, because he looked awful.
He couldn't drift. Yeah, and Lil Bow Wow was with him as well. I
Yeah.
assume he's now just called Bow Wow. And he like literally couldn't
Medium
drift a
Bow
car,
Wow.
and now he's going into space. That's just
What,
stupid. And he can fly a jet as well.
What, Bow Wow was in this one?
Yeah,
he was
there
the guy
with-
with.
yeah,
he was the
the
guy
other
with him.
guy.
Yeah.
He was what was his name? The
No
Twinkie.
idea.
See, it's that James. I don't know if that was a joke or if that was true. Like, I literally don't know.
I think they call him
if you'd come
Twinkie.
to see this film with us, I felt sorry for anyone who's probably sat near us. Because all the way through the film, it was probably
Quinn,
just
who's that?
it was probably
What
just
the
like a
fuck?
series of me, Jack, and Calvin at different points, just going, just like so fed up with everything that was happening. We were just like,
Yeah.
fuck.
For me,
They-
for me, it's not the issue of like it being like stupidly like unrealistic. I quite like that stuff, and I kind of want them to go more with it. But I feel like what they were trying to do is actually make like they try too hard as well. I think to actually make it quite a grounded story about like family and legacy and all this sort of stuff, like things you. But I don't think whoever writes these films are really good at doing that. And the action is what I thought was going to stand out but this film didn't have any of that. I don't think any of the action was at all impressive that we haven't seen before. I thought there was going to be a lot of like really well choreographed fight scenes. Like number 8 has the one in the prison with the Rock and Jason Statham.
Yeah.
I just don't know if the Rock and Jason Statham are just a lot more like amenable than Vin Diesel and John Cena are doing choreography for a fight scene. Like,
Vin Diesel is a brick wall of a human being.
That is like that action in that is like off the wall where you got like the rubber bullets bouncing off the rock. But I quite enjoy that. I quite enjoy that big like larger than life sort of action scenes. Like you get that in a lot of other genres, but this one just felt like like John Cena and Vin Diesel fight once, and it's an awful fight. We're in that building, and they're just
putting each other through walls.
Two big men putting each other through big walls. Like,
I thought it was hilarious.
And then John Cena's meant to be this big bad guy, and he's just getting absolutely battered. I'm assuming that's because Vin Diesel is weird and has got on his contract that he can't lose.
That is literally a thing.
Yeah, well, get him out of the franchise, kill him off.
Imagine they
keep him
kill off
Groot.
Dom Toretto.
Commit to Groot.
I love how Vin Diesel refers to the story of Fast and Furious as a mythology. And I genuinely think that's the funniest thing in the world. He thinks this is so deep. And I think that's...
What's wrong with him? Like, did he bump his head doing the first one? Or, you know...
Well, I mean, a lot's wrong with him,
this one,
he
mate.
called himself Vin Diesel. He picked that name. I think the problem started there.
Either that, or who owns... Is it 20th Century Fox owns?
Universal.
Okay, that or Universal just got his family hostage, and they're like, "You have."
I'm convinced Vin Diesel is actually a synthetic human that they just wake up every year and a half and say, "We need you again." And I don't think he's real. Can anyone picture Vin Diesel's eyebrows? Because I can't.
Doesn't have any, does he?
Doesn't have any eyebrows, does he?
Well, that's what I thought.
I mean, you got in common, Jack.
I can't see Jack's eyebrows now.
Yeah, if Jack shaved his head, he'd look just like Vin Diesel.
Yeah. I've always said that. What did we think of
if we ever do on-camera videos now, people are going to be bitterly disappointed when he looks nothing like Vin Diesel.
What do we think of them bringing up the concept of possible invincibility?
Oh,
I genuinely thought for 1 second, I was like, is this really where they're going?
Invincibility?
Yeah, when
Tyrese is just invincible.
Tyrese he's shot. He's shot at the
like
beginning of the movie.
Oh yeah, that was weird. Was
nothing.
That just a meta joke?
Well, yeah, they're just bringing attention to it because they're like,
but they ran with it too long.
Well, yeah, they go like, it's not a flaw if we bring it up.
Yeah, but they kept going on about it.
Yeah,
like do one scene.
Well, no, that's what I thought. Like, and it got very deep at the end when, oh yeah, of course they go to space. By the way,
yeah, they can and somehow they can drive a car for a satellite.
Yeah, I thought they killed themselves when they did that. I thought that was all. I thought it was all leading up to that.
It's just like I came back and like as soon as I got back, my girlfriend and my flat, they were like, "Oh, how was the film?" And I just went, "They went to space." And they were like, "How? Explain that scene." And I was like, I can't. They go in old diving suits, which somehow makes sense. And
I kept forgetting during the movie that Ludacris and Tyrese were in space. And every time it cut back to them, I just had to question my whole life. I was like, how has it come to this?
Point. Do you know in the bit when they're in Edinburgh and John Cena's like, you know,
the longest zip line in the world.
There, zip line. I'm sure at one point he zip lines up. I'm sure on the way back, I went, did he?
It was like an electrical thing though, when it was making like a weird noise.
I don't know, because that's the scene where they CGI Vin Diesel. So that was my main focus in that scene. And some really stupid electromagnetic thing.
Yeah,
and they
don't bring in
and they
electromagnets. You're not going to do anything creative with it.
and they just destroy. They've got no
What?
regard.
They destroyed cars with them
for other
on
human
Module 1.
life. They just they're like, oh, our 6 family members are great. Fuck everyone else. Let's destroy homes.
This is about the fate of the world, Reese.
In Edinburgh, they're just
collateral damage.
Do what you want over in America. Don't come over here. Start wrecking our shit, right? I don't care if you
tearing up Scotland.
Leave Edinburgh alone.
Right.
I think you're going to get all we're going to say out of this.
Yeah, I'm not shocked that you're at the complete other end of this to me. I think, if you're in, you're in. If you're not, it's just not for you, and that's fine. But yeah, should we rate this? We'll go bottom to top. I'll start with who I feel is going to rate this the lowest. Reese, would I be right?
Yeah. What are our rating systems again? Is it 5?
I can't fucking remember.
We did 5.
Out of 5.
Yeah, we do it. We do 1 to 300.
We'll probably change it again next week.
This gets like a 2.5.
Okay,
that is generous.
That's more than I thought he was going to give it.
I don't know.
Then I'll go Jack.
2.
2. Oh,
There's so much I couldn't fucking get over. It just upset me.
Nothing.
Yeah, I'll give it 2 stars as well.
Okay, I'm gonna give this a 5. Obviously.
Fuck off! Fuck off!
You don't realise how wrong you are.
This is just.
You're not giving it a 5.
I'm not giving it a 5.
I'm not giving it a 5. I'm not giving it a 5. I'll give this a 3.5.
No, stick with your guns.
Stick to your
guns.
Yeah, fuck it. This means nothing. Fast and Furious 9 gets a 5 out of 5.
No,
what a movie! What a picture! It changed my life. It made me cry. I love it.
Right, if you're giving it a 5,
the listeners tune in
to level it out.
The listeners tune in to get our valid, honest opinions, not your lies.
Well,
not your
listen,
dogma.
Viewers, this all means nothing. Ratings are arbitrary.
Morgan's dad's going to go see this film now, expecting something big, and you're going to let him down.
And he'll have the best fucking time. Trust me. Che, you're going to love it. Right. Let's talk about, arguably a better film, Black Widow.
Yeah, so what, are you going to give it 7 out of 5, you?
I might do. I might do. I fucking love this movie. Me and Calvin were arguing yesterday about it. I think this is I think it's easily top 10 MCU.
No, it's not.
I thought it was brilliant.
No.
I've seen it twice.
No.
I've seen it twice. The first time
No
I was like, oh, that was good. That was decent. Second time, I don't know. There's something sparked.
I think it's just decent is what I can it's good. It's a good film. Like, they're not really.
I think
the MCU would to make a bad
good.
film now. It'd be a real misstep. This many films in.
But
but then they can't get. But then it isn't an excuse either to settle for like mediocrity, which I feel this film does fall into in certain parts of it.
Certain parts, I will admit, I think they could have done better. But I think tonally. Kate Shortland just absolutely nailed this. My problems with a lot of the Marvel movies, they are too funny, and I feel it really detracts from a lot of the drama sometimes, where a joke will just undercut a lot of the tension, a lot of the stakes. And for example, I thought Endgame is way too funny for the story. It didn't fit for me. So I think this was like the right amount of funny, and then just a dark tone underneath it all, because the subject matter is quite serious, and because obviously it is about like human trafficking and abuse and horrible, awful men in power. So I think this film it was incredibly relevant. And it just hit me on another level that a lot of MCU movies haven't. And I know my house that I saw it with the other night felt the same as well. It was very, very emotional. I cried during the opening credits, by the way.
Yeah, the thing is I feel like I don't want Marvel to sway into too much of an area where they're trying to be too relevant on everything, because sometimes I do feel the writing and films suffer from trying to put that too much. I don't think this film did it too much. I feel like everything they did in the film suited the story they were trying to tell. But I don't know, I feel like we were just sort of, what we were promised and the way they were marketing it was kind of like, it's going to be sort of like the next sort of the Winter Soldier, sort of in the same vein, like a proper espionage sort of, because that's what Black Widow, that's what I thought Black Widow is, and that's what I thought a film about her should be. I think my main issue though was to do with the villains in the film. I just thought they was really one-dimensional. They served the purpose, but I think this far into a like what number film is this? Like 25?
24.
24 and 3 TV shows into a very good sort of expanded universe. I think it's not too much to ask for the villains to feel like real characters, because obviously the base function of the classic villain is someone who challenges the protagonist and sort of in their morals, and then the protagonist sort of becomes, you know, it's a conduit for their story. Like that's what the villain is. But I feel like recently with like Thanos, Loki, and things like that, we've been seeing a lot more sympathetic sort of villains. Like you sort of get into the psyche of them more. I just feel like this.
Well, yeah, you see where they're coming
falls
from.
Short of there, like
the,
Rykov is simply just a horrible man, and he's only there to sort of progress and help Natasha sort of deal with her trauma of her past.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I just feel like that is what a villain is, and they did a good job at it. But I just feel, for me personally, 24 films in, they need to be giving them like better villains. And Taskmaster, I'm sure we'll get into it, but the whole reveal of Taskmaster worked so well for what they were doing. And like you said, the film's about certain subjects, and it really hammered home that.
Yeah.
But I think the character is not even a character. They don't say a word. They're just a sort of a presence, and they don't actually do much. There's no even particularly good fight scenes with them, really, that aren't dealt with really quickly or cut away from, like the fight scene with Red Guardian.
Yeah.
And I feel all these aspects, like I feel Kate Shortland's tone was so good during the family moments, and I feel this film shines. And then as soon as they were directing any sort of action, it felt so different, and it didn't feel like I was hoping for, like you get in the Winter Soldier when Bucky and Cap fight, and it feels so visceral and close quarters, and it feels like someone's going to die in this. That's what I expected it to be like, and the action just felt very like nothing stood out, especially in the third act. I feel like they ran out of steam in the third act and didn't really know how to wrap it up. They knew they wanted Natasha to confront Rykov, but then the whole rest of it just seemed we'll just have a big thing falling from the sky, because that's big stakes.
Yeah, I think they went too big with the third act for a movie like this. I didn't think it needed to be that, and I was just being reminded
too big
of
and
Winter
resolved
Soldier
too quickly, I would say.
Well, yeah, I thought the aerial battle was going to be quite a bit quite a bit longer, but
literally
how long is the sky? How long is the sky? Yeah, I think everything that was actually like story-wise happening in the third act, I was really enjoying, because it was just informing so much of Natasha's character. And I think when we go back and watch her previous appearances, what has happened in this movie will just enrich her character and her performance so much more. So everything that was actually happening story-wise, I was fine with. And your problem with the villain of him, one-dimensional, he's just an evil, horrible man. I thought that worked for me, because there are people like that in the world, exactly like Rykov. And I don't know if anyone else got this, but I would heavily I thought, I was like, oh, he's meant to be Harvey Weinstein. And even like his office is like an old Hollywood producer's office and everything. I was like, oh, well, yeah, this is it's a Me Too movie. I think when they were making it, they said, this is in response to all of that. I don't know if anyone else got that.
I didn't really mind Rykov as a character. Like I said, I kind of don't mind that he's just a bit of a bastard. Because the kind of people who do what he did, that's just kind of what they are. They don't really have
there are
a
people
deeper
like
meaning.
that.
They just
unfortunately exist.
But Taskmaster, yeah, I spoke to Calvin after the film. I was a bit disappointed because that's not the Taskmaster I'm used to.
Oh, but
Like,
is Taskmaster like? Does he have to be comic accurate? Like, it's not
No,
Green
I don't
Goblin.
think
is
they
it?
have to
It's
be. I don't think they have to be. I don't think they have to be comic book accurate. I don't agree with that. Like, adaptation is adaptation, and I'm glad they do different things.
Yeah.
But Taskmaster wasn't a character.
Well, it was all just to support Natasha's arc and
Yeah.
literally having her past hunt her down.
Yeah, and were they really hunting her down? Not
Well,
really.
no, I think they should have been
attacked her
more of a
once and took
presence.
the thing. Yeah, but I
Twice.
feel like if you look at the Winter Soldier, like Alexander Pierce and Bucky's relationship is so similar to Rykov's and Taskmaster's in this. It's a bit different.
Yeah,
but
mind
they're
control.
essentially like, you know, the master and the handler and the thing. But I feel like because Alexander Pierce and Bucky had so much more of a presence in the Winter Soldier, it sort of paid off more for me, even though Alexander Pierce is still not a really great character. I feel like I like him more than Rykov just because his presence was so much more felt.
And
Like,
it's, I mean, a much better performance as well.
Yeah, exactly. You got Robert Redford instead of Ray Winston, so like
Bed 365.
Yeah, to me, oh yeah, let's not talk about his accent. My friend was like convinced it was a great accent, and I was like, no. Listen to the whole scene where he talks to Natasha, because like he is dipping in and out of a British accent there.
Yeah, when he shouted, it really came through.
And I expect at one point I expect him to turn around and go, "Shut you slag," because that's how much it was slipping out. And I was just like,
has he ever said that?
Probably at one point. They all have, haven't they? It's not like
They all have.
That's a thing that all gangster actors from London have said that at one point. But I felt, for me, it was more, this film to me was more of introducing Florence Pugh's character.
Wow.
Than
what a
Widow,
performance.
which I had no problem with because she was brilliant.
Yeah. I mean, she doesn't miss. She just
the
always understands the assignment.
The post-credit scene broke my heart. But just like she's gone her whole life being like lied to and manipulated, and then she finally got out of it, and now essentially she's being lied to and manipulated again. And it's just like, and you know, I imagine she's gonna pop up in Hawkeye. So
yeah, I think we already knew that.
Gonna be mad.
Like she's going after Hawkeye, which would be good.
Her performance.
Have you noticed on Twitter there's been like loads of people hate Hawkeye for some reason, which I never thought was a thing.
Is it
like,
Hawkeye or just Jeremy Renner?
Hawkeye's
I don't know.
My favorite.
They're saying like Clint.
Yeah.
Oh.
Hawkeye is my favorite. I don't know why people hate him.
I think Jeremy Renner's kind of a weird bloke, but I don't think anything necessarily wrong with Hawkeye.
Nah.
Reese loves him.
I do. I love him. I love Hawkeye.
My favorite.
My favorite Avenger.
That's insane.
I don't know. It's because I used to watch lots of the cartoons when I was younger.
Fair.
But yeah, I think like Calvin said, the family bits are really well done. You know,
they
really
they
well
excel
acted.
in those scenes.
They were the highlight of the film. And like doing this podcast has ruined my film going experience. Because I used to just leave films and go, yeah, that was good.
Oh, right. Now you have to actually think about it.
Now that I'm analyzing films, I'm just nitpick. And I got into an argument with my mate the other day because he's one of these people where like Marvel can do very little wrong in his eyes. Right. And I was just like, got into a big argument with him. One of the arguments was the guy, what's his name? The helper.
Does he get a name?
The British guy.
Yeah, I know what you mean. He looks like Craig David.
Yeah. Like
Laura turned to me in the middle of the film and was like, "Is that Craig David?"
I was trying to convince my friend the other night that he is in the movie, and he fell for it.
What's his name? Is it like OT
Fagbenle or something?
Fagbueno. I don't know.
No, Fagbueno.
But the whole underlying romantic tones of that was weird.
I don't think there was romantic tones. I think he just wants to bang.
Oh, I don't know.
Natasha,
the way she was like, the way she was smiling at him and giving him googly eyes. I was like, this doesn't need to be part of it.
I think he was a fucking Avenger.
Yeah. He'll take any of them. Clint. Giving you tomorrows.
Yeah. the opening credits, like you said, that bit was like.
I thought that was brilliant.
Tough.
Like I love the cover of Smells Like Teen Spirit.
I hate those covers. Those really
yeah,
slow.
I don't like indie covers.
But I thought that worked for the context. It really set a mood, and I think that mood was carried. I
just couldn't get over how much. Is it Mila Jovovich? Is that you pronounce her name?
Yeah, her daughter.
Her daughter looks just like her.
Yeah.
Like straight away, I was like, if that's not Mila Jovovich's daughter, I would be more surprised.
Yeah, I loved that opening scene of them as kids.
Yeah, it was really
so sad because Natasha kind of understands what's going on, but Yelena has no idea that she's being taken away from her family, and it's just so upsetting. And when it comes back later, which in my favorite scene, the dinner scene, Florence Pugh's just incredible, and she's like, "You're telling me now that the best part of my life was a lie, it was fake," and that broke my heart. Also made me cry. And I think not get anyone else.
No, it was emotional. I didn't cry, but
got me and all my mates were all sobbing. Yeah, I thought that scene was just fantastic, and I think this film, you could have done this film without Rachel Weisz and David Harbour, and it could have been just a Natasha and Yelena story. Because I feel like Red Guardian is missing a beat.
I feel like two of them, though, there's more danger of Florence Pugh's character sort of overtaking a bit more. But when you put more of the group dynamic, it sort of takes the reins away from her a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, she does undeniably steal the movie.
Otherwise, it'd be like a Black Widow and it'd be called like Black Widow and Black Widow.
Times two. Yeah, I think I love David Harbour. He's hilarious in this movie, and I really want to see Red Guardian again. But what was missing from him, I thought, was just he should have done one thing well, and he should have really just helped out the mission in some way. But all he does at the end is just kind of get his ass kicked by Taskmaster.
Probably American propaganda that they can't show the Russians winning.
Black Widow is Russian.
I'm not even joking.
But Natasha's Russian.
Yeah, there's definitely propaganda in the Marvel films.
It's all politics. It's all politics. Yeah. Shall we? So, do we think, will we get another Black Widow movie, but with Florence Pugh, or is she going to just?
No, I think she'll probably be in
small appearances, or.
Obviously, I think it was a Thunderbolts movie. I imagine she'd probably pop up in that.
Yeah, Thunderbolts or Dark Avengers. I'm still not sure what they're planning, but because I knew Julia Louis-Dreyfus was going to. I think we talked about it, didn't we? After
we did.
Falcon and Winter Soldier, she was going to pop up in this movie, and I thought she was going to be recruiting Taskmaster.
Wasn't Iron Man supposed to be in this film?
No, me and Jack talked about this the other day. That was never a thing.
Was it not?
No, I think people just because it's set after Civil War. People are like, oh, Tony will be in it.
I guess they could have done. I guess they could have done a film where she goes around and frees all the other Black Widows. But then we'd have to have more.
I don't think we need to see that. I think it's just implied of that is what's going to happen.
More terrible acting from Black Widow operatives.
Yeah,
too many Black Widows were so wooden.
Well, I assume they were all just stunt performers.
Yeah, their line delivery was so just like one tone, and I get you've been hypnotized for a while, so maybe you don't know, what emotions are, but you can give it something.
Oh, one thing that I thought really should have changed was the scene when in Budapest, when they're being chased by the Black Widows and she falls, and then Harvey Weinstein makes her shoot herself in the head. I thought if she just stops breathing and we don't see why and who's controlling her, but she just can't breathe. And then later the reveal of, Melina with the pig, and she stops it breathing. I thought that would have been a much better a bit of a reveal, bit of a twist. Like, it's her. He's controlling them all, like through that. So I thought that would have worked much better, dramatically. But I'm not paid to make these movies, so it didn't happen. Jack, you've not said very much on Black Widow.
Well, that's me my opinion, yeah, man.
Well, here you go. Now's your time.
I was too busy dwelling on the fact that you seemed really sad when you were talking about the themes of the movie, and then I had like a brief moment thinking that maybe at some point in your life you've been trafficked.
Oh my God. You never been shoved in a crate?
No, you just sounded so sad about
His
it.
name's not even James.
Yeah, I agree with a lot of the points so far. I feel like Florence Pugh, for me, just stole the movie, but that didn't surprise me. I knew she was going to be fucking good. I disagree with you about like the comedy in these films. I think
but
it's
you
one of
love
those things...
these regardless of whatever the fuck they are.
That's not
you
true.
You like Thor too.
I don't like Thor. I think it's better than people give it credit for. I don't think it's a great film.
But you at least think it's good.
I think it's
you
all
like
right.
Zack Snyder. So
it's watchable.
We're equal. We're even.
Zack Snyder and Thor: The Dark World.
I don't think I'd be able to do a better job.
Yeah, at least Thor: The Dark World's a normal length movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, Thor: The Dark World was 4 hours and he got to make it again. It'd probably be better.
Yeah.
No.
I just think in these films, obviously, all the stake of every film is basically like, oh, if we don't do this, it's the end of the world, or it's the end of, I don't know, people will die, or all that kind of stuff. And it's just one of those things, just like in life. If you don't laugh, you'll cry. So why not make a couple jokes along the way? I don't see what the problem is.
No, but I thought this movie was funny, but I thought it was appropriately funny. Like,
yeah,
but there was enough. I think sometimes in Marvel there's too much.
But it suits the tone. It suits the tone of the world they're trying to set, doesn't it? So
yeah, but then like all the movies just have the same tone.
I don't think they do
in that regard. I think there is a formula to these Marvel movies.
Oh, yeah, there's a formula, yeah.
And I much like I prefer something like this.
Maybe not a formula for much longer.
Well,
for the multiverse.
Yeah. Talk about Loki in a minute.
You're lucky.
Did you say if you're lucky? Did you make a joke, or did you say if you're lucky?
No, I just said if you're lucky for some reason.
Oh, I thought you made a joke.
I thought you made a pun.
Like, if you're Loki, I thought you went if you're Loki, and in my head I was like, I'm gonna fucking punch you when this is over.
You could never land a hit. You could never land a hit on me, mate.
Taskmaster.
Yeah.
Mimicking
moves.
The Taskmaster thing was my biggest qualm with this.
For fuck's sake.
The Taskmaster thing was my biggest qualm with this movie. When she took the helmet off, and you can clearly see that it's a man in that suit. She takes the helmet off, and it's,
though?
It's her daughter, and it's like she's like brainwashed. I literally was like, I was bored. That bored me. What
would you have been happy with? Because it would have, it had to be a reveal of someone.
Yeah, but they'd have to change a character. You would have to change the whole story.
Yeah, so Jack, who would you have been happy with coming out of that mask?
I don't know. Like
Iron Man.
I thought it was going to be Iron Man.
It wouldn't have bothered me if they changed the story to suit a better reveal.
But then you're changing it to service a villain that no one really gives
a
shit about.
Yeah, but no one gives a shit about it now because most people thought it was shit that I've spoken to. I thought it was just really boring. And
I don't think they could have gone a better way with it. I think it was too that would have been the hardest thing for Natasha to see in that moment.
I thought establish the younger girl, like his daughter, more as a character instead of just seeing her blown up, and then you'd feel more for her. They were trying to use the fact that she got blown up when she was a little girl, then manipulated by her father, as the main reason to like sympathize for her. But that's all we know of her. She's nothing else.
Right, but
that's not enough.
It's servicing how evil the villain is.
Yeah, I get that. I get how evil the villain is, but
yeah,
I think it's just.
I don't know how you set up the daughter more.
It could have not been a daughter. It could have been someone else. It could have been like maybe when they were living in Ohio as a family, there was actually 3 daughters, and then somehow they did something with that. I don't know how, but that would lead to more of a them having history together, you know?
Would that not just be another Winter Soldier Bucky moment?
This would is so.
I think it's just the hardest thing for her to see is this girl who, you know, it's been, you know, it haunts her what she did. And the hardest thing for her to see in that moment is the face of a girl, an innocent girl she thought she murdered. And then it's also supporting the villain of, you know, like, yeah, he's taken power over all these women and taken away their agency, but also his own daughter. He's just using her as a weapon. And I don't think they could have gone a better way with the reveal, to be honest. And like Taskmaster from the comics, who really cares? So like change it to fit the story and support the character.
I care.
Don't put the villain in there if you're not going to make a good character.
I just think Natasha needs to use better bombs because she didn't kill anyone in that fucking explosion. They both got out.
That's a very good point.
Yeah.
We've had this big story about, you know, something happening in Budapest, and it didn't even fucking work.
How did he get out? Did it explain how he got out of there?
No.
Because
he needed to be
a slippery man.
Oh yeah.
His pheromones stopped the explosion.
You can't commit violence against me.
Because Natasha put it down. It stopped. Because I was really mad about that as well. Calvin said that that's a thing, but I was like, nah.
It's like psychological.
I know it is psychological, but it's still bullshit.
How's that bullshit? There's actually science.
I know it is, but
it's bullshit. I know it's science.
Science is silly, isn't it? Some science is silly, isn't it? Let's be real.
Some science is real.
Okay.
I just think this will be another Mandarin scenario where in like 5 to 8 years, this Taskmaster thing will get so much backlash they'll just revamp the character again and bring it back.
I mean, it is open for that because the Taskmaster thing is literally just technology. So they don't make it like a power. It is just, you know, it is just the suit. So they have the, you know, they have that option if they want.
Yeah, I didn't like. Again, like I still like enjoyed the movie. That just for me, I don't know, it just didn't sit with me after the film. Like I wanted more of an impact from it. But that's really my only qualm with the whole thing.
Yeah, it worked. That worked for me. I don't think they could have done a better job with that. Has Reese gone? Is he still here?
He's
fucked off.
Yeah,
he's fucked off before Loki.
Just to be safe.
Spoilers.
Yeah. So Calvin, what's your rating for Black Widow?
I'm gonna go for a 3 stars out of 5.
Nice.
I think is fair.
Jack, out of 5.
As always, Calvin scuppered me by going first because I thought it was a 3, but I definitely enjoyed it more than him. So I'm gonna go 3.5.
Reese.
Yeah, I think it's 3.5.
All right, I'm being the generous one again. 4 out of 5. I genuinely, I think easy top 10, maybe top 5. Who knows? Who knows? I'll have to see it a third time.
Shut your
decide.
mouth.
I just can't believe that I had so much shit for my movie opinions in this podcast before, and then you've come and given Fast 9 a fucking 5.
To be fair, Reese, you did slander the works of Francis McDormand without seeing any of it.
Yeah, at least I've seen these movies. You can't come back from that.
There's nothing to say to it. Even though on this point I agree with you that James is just fucking stupid.
Hey, I just like to enjoy things. I don't know what's wrong with you guys. I just like enjoying things. Nothing wrong with that.
You only like enjoying things you enjoy.
Yeah.
What's wrong with that? Right. So Reese, you haven't seen Loki.
I've seen the last 2 episodes.
Right. Yeah. Let's quickly talk about.
I've just not seen the. Yeah. I've just not seen.
There's 5 before this one, Reese.
Well, we've reviewed all them.
Yeah. We talked about 3 last time.
Yeah, we've gone up to 3, haven't we?
Yeah.
I can't remember what happened in the other 2 now because I'm so fixated on the last one.
Well, so number 4 is I thought the best episode, including episode 6. I thought episode 4 was the strongest. It was just so much happened, and obviously we find out what I always thought the timekeepers, they're not real. They are being controlled by someone. This is all an elaborate play by someone in charge. We won't spoil it for you, Reese. And then we find out, they're all variants. Oh no, we found that out in episode 3, didn't we? They're all variants.
Yeah. It's all muddled. But episode 4, I thought was fucking brilliant. It was one of the best episodes of TV I've seen in a bit. In a bit. Everyone else on the same. I don't think. I thought episode 4 was great. I don't think it was some of the best TV I've seen in a bit.
I've not watched a lot of TV.
Yeah. I really enjoyed episode 5 as well. I thought it was great. The ending was so good, like with
classic Loki.
Yeah, it was
Richard E. Grant.
Richard E. Grant is that Loki when he started doing all those huge illusions. I was like, this guy.
I knew he'd be playing an old guy? Loki. Yeah. Brilliant. He's just Richard E. Grant's just having the most fun. Whatever he does, he loves it.
But I think my favorite part of that whole episode was, I think, when he gets there just from the off, and he has that like small meltdown, and then he's like, there's an alligator there that looks like me.
And I've not even questioned it. Yeah.
I'm sorry to say that I'm not even that surprised.
Yeah. So we meet classic Loki, boastful Loki, Kid Loki, who was awful, and alligator Loki.
And Throg.
And President Loki.
I was shocked that President Loki wasn't our Loki.
Yeah, we were saying that. We thought it was going to be him.
I was all over the trailers.
I thought he was going to try and trying to
King of the Void.
TVA.
Yeah, something like that, yeah. I didn't think episode 5 was as strong as episode 4, but it was still very good. And I think now, because of what has happened in episode 6, and glad to say it did stick the landing. I think episode 5 will, even episode 3 looks better now.
Yeah. The thing about this show compared to the other two so far, with the last episode, I won't spoil it, Reese, but it feels like a normal ongoing series ending, with the other two had the arc came full circle.
Yeah.
Was this when you don't really get the closure you're looking for? And I can see why some people might be a bit disappointed with that, because obviously we are getting like more seasons of Loki, but we're not getting any more seasons of Falcon Winter Soldier and WandaVision. So you get all the payoff in that last episode.
Yeah.
But I loved what they did with the last episode, but I can see why people might be a bit like, after it finished, be like, oh, was that it? Sort of thing.
I think in a year when a lot of this has paid off in other projects, I think people will be like, oh, right, okay, I get it now.
Yeah.
Should we talk about episode 6?
Yeah.
Can we? Reese?
Reese, you want to
go?
Peace out. We'll
in a bit.
We'll see you soon. Bye, Reese. Go watch episode 6.
I'm gonna watch it. Bye.
Bye. It's fucking Kang. It's fucking Kang. We all knew it. They finally did it. They didn't.
I'm not
Ralph
surprised.
Boner us.
I feel like they purposely in the other shows put in little clues of these big villains so they get everyone excited. I feel like they were feels like a really smart thing to do, like put in tiny clues to get people theorizing, and then hold all the payoff for this show to where we do get the next possible big bad of the MCU. And
this is our next Thanos, like,
because now we got to a point where they released the show last, and we got to a point where everyone was like, oh, it's not going to be Kang. They haven't given us him the last time, and then it is.
Yeah.
Like, it feels like such a clever way to do it, even though a lot of like the online discussions and theories did come from people getting excited. But I do think Marvel like laid the groundwork to get people that excited, because it did really feel like Mephisto and whoever else were going to show up.
Yeah, and it wasn't just, it wasn't a reveal for reveal's sake, because, to be honest, 80% of the people watching this show won't have a fucking clue who Kang is.
Well, he doesn't even name himself.
Well, yeah.
They never
it's
say
just
Kang,
he who remains, isn't it?
Yeah, because there's a lot of people on Twitter just saying he who remains.
Yeah, I think
they're not familiar with
this
Kang.
is like the Immortus version of Kang.
Yeah,
the first one who appeared.
Because in the last episode, I'm sure in like the wasteland where the TVA drop all this stuff, do you know the tower in the background? It had his company on it. I can't remember his name. It was Nathaniel or something.
Yeah, but the company's called it's QENG, I think.
Yeah,
Kang. Yeah.
Yeah, Kang. Yeah, that's it. And I just thought it was a great way to introduce a new, like, if he is what I hope he's going to be, like the next sort of Avengers level Thanos threat. Because I like that they're already going such a different route to Thanos. He doesn't turn up. He's not this like brute strength, all powerful thing. And Thanos was like such a background presence for all of it, apart from the 2 films he's in.
Yeah.
And I quite enjoy that the Kang, all the different variations of him are going to be like, the good thing about having all these variants of him is that they managed to keep the villain fresh. And he can be killed off in multiple films while still coming back.
Keep coming back.
Yeah, I enjoy that. Like, he's going to be such like a frontal presence through all of these films now. I hope. I'm quite looking forward to seeing, him in his like comic book, which I feel like the evil Kang that they were hinting about.
Yeah, that'll probably be.
It's gonna be dressed. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because we knew Kang was coming. I just don't think. I mean, before Loki, none of us thought he would appear this early. So Ant-Man's like out in like 2 years, or is it 2022? Might be 2022.
Yeah, I love
late 2022.
Yeah,
I loved how he just straight away he's in it for like 20 minutes or whatever, maybe half an hour. But like, I loved they delved into like the psychology of this Kang so much. Like, he doesn't even seem like a villain.
Yeah,
he seems like he's so genuine, but then you're like constantly like, oh, is he going to do something? Like,
well, he actually like warning them of what's coming.
Thanos is so set on his goal that you're never second guessing what he might do. You're just always prepared that he will go really far. But with this already, I was sort of like, I don't know.
Well, yeah, because of the variants,
this guy's about.
Unsure of his intentions.
Yeah,
I loved like how, like in like Falcon and Winter Soldier, and and WandaVision, you get like a big climactic like battle.
Yeah,
but in this one, it was just Kang basically talking. And I thought it felt more like threatening than
we needed it as well. For this is this is very like complicated comic book stuff. So I think we needed to just be sat down for 20 minutes and just talk to him.
Yeah, and I think just like the fact that he doesn't, the only reason he doesn't die earlier is he says that he knows what's going to happen.
Yeah.
And then that moment when like he goes through like, what was it, like I don't know what he called it, like that basically when he crosses the line of not knowing, he's just sat there and he's like
the threshold,
like the threshold, and he's standing just like, he's like, he doesn't know what is going to happen.
He was like, up until 10 seconds ago.
Yeah,
and now he has
like,
no clue.
Like,
I was like,
he's like, you could kill me. Like, he literally doesn't know what's coming.
Yeah.
And I just love how, like, obviously you get the reveal at the end. Like, he's being honest with them, essentially.
Yeah.
It's like, you kill me, you kill me, and I'm going to come back, or you can just take over.
Yeah, like just a more evil version of me is going to come and fuck shit up.
It felt like he wanted it a little bit. Like, I wouldn't be surprised this was all part of his sort of grand plan.
Oh yeah,
because Kang is someone who's constantly planning, and like he literally owns the universe, right? Like
I just loved all like the proper like comic book stuff like that came out of it, like when he was like basically like, he didn't name it, but when he basically talked about like the Council of Kangs, like all the Kangs from different like timelines meeting up and then obviously starting that war and stuff. I thought it was sick. And I've not seen Jonathan Majors in much. I was saying to James earlier, I've seen him in, is he into Five Bloods?
He was in The Five Bloods. He was in Hostiles with and Christian Bale, Lovecraft Country.
And I've seen Last Black Man in San Francisco. And I thought like, he was good in them. But I didn't know like much about him. But like, I literally was like, I had my mouth open half the time. I was like, this guy.
Yeah, I was so happy with the way he was playing Kang.
Yeah, he was really like
yeah.
What? He's just like really magnetic.
The next Kang probably won't be as animated.
Yeah, that's what I'm excited about, because he he's such a good performer from what we've seen anyway. So the fact that he's going to be able to play so many iterations of the same character.
Yeah, I just think
so
it's
exciting.
crazy how, like, obviously this episode had to be a bit slower for a reason, because obviously the MCU has the biggest audience of any probably media thing going on right now in the world. And I just think it's so ambitious for them to start the next sort of saga. It's going to be like a multiverse saga. That's such like a big thing to ask. How many people see these films? Billions? I don't know. Like, buy into that.
I saw like a meme about the Marvel movies, and it was like there are two types of Marvel movies, and then there's like Multiverse of Madness and like Loki and all that, and there's just a picture of like Cap with a hat on, and then it's just like the hat ones and all the hat ones.
I like that though. We've got, because I think with the first 3 phases, everything was building up to Thanos, to Infinity War. But I think now, because they have got these different branches, you got your Black Widows, and then you've got your Doctor Strange. And I'm so like, we're just going to so much different Marvel content. You're like, oh, which one's this going to fall into?
Yeah, I think all the multiverse stuff is the stuff I'm looking forward to more, and the stuff I'm more invested in, just because it opens up so much avenues in terms of like world building and different.
Yeah, it's definitely more exciting.
There's only
they can basically do whatever they want.
There's only so much new, sort of unheard of, like, fictional places they can make up on Earth. Until it gets a bit like, come on, man. Like, you've got Madripoor, you've got
you're gonna bring that.
Maybe that's enough. Like, and a few other places.
Yeah, but now, because like the possibilities that they've opened with, freeing the timeline, that we can really just go anywhere.
Well, yeah, like at the end when like you look out and you see the timeline like branching,
it's fucked.
it's just fucked. Like they could. It's mental how, like, I don't think they will, like, it won't be like unplanned, but like they could just do it. They can basically now do anything they want to.
Yeah,
they're not limited anymore by things. Like, if they can explain
everything could be canon.
Yeah, like,
yeah, no, which that What If, the animated show that's coming out next month, that is, I think that's going to tie in to the actual movies.
Yeah, I spoke to a lot of people and they've sort of said, "Oh, it's going to be like unrelated." And I'm like, "Nah, I don't think it is."
They don't do unrelated. That's not what Marvel do. So I mean, there are hints in that What If show of them all, crossing over within the show itself. But I think that will sort of tie into Doctor Strange 2 for sure.
I just hope, my only issue with it is I hope they don't use it to, like, I don't mind, like, if they did it with a couple of things. I don't want them to, like, I don't want things to feel like they don't have an impact anymore. Like, if they decide like 2 years down the line, oh fuck it, we're going to bring back a different version of Tony Stark. Like, I don't want that.
No, I don't. No.
I don't want them to like bring back Robert Downey Jr. again, but like from like another timeline. Like, I don't want them. I want the things that have happened are so good because there's weight to them and they feel final. And there's some stuff that just shouldn't be undone. And I think they need to like tread the line of what they can undo and what they just shouldn't undo.
I think they're clever enough to know that Endgame had such the moments of losing Tony, losing Black Widow, and like sort of saying goodbye to Cap. I think they're well aware of the impact those moments had, so I don't think they undercut them by bringing them back. I think if we do see those characters again, it will be in some sort of alternate universe where they're played by different actors.
Yeah,
and I don't think it wouldn't be like a new Iron Man movie. It'd just be probably a quick scene in Doctor Strange 2 or something.
Yeah. Well, I think I didn't actually read the article. I just saw the headline. Is it confirmed or is it just rumor that Loki is going to be in Doctor Strange 2?
I did just read that, yeah. So I
saw it as well, but it wasn't from like a credible source.
Yeah. But I mean, it would make sense because he's heavily.
They've got 3 different color magics. It looks nice together.
Yeah,
Green, Doctor Strange, Scarlet Witch, and
yeah. There's orange,
the orange-ish one.
Yeah.
What do we think is going to happen with like the second season? Is it going to be like?
I think it all depends when it's coming out.
Yeah, if it comes out
Yeah.
after, I think it'll come after these.
Because he obviously
Yeah.
well, obviously at the end he appears in that like new timeline, doesn't he? Because they don't know who he is.
Oh, heartbreaking.
And then you've got the big statue of Kang.
Yeah.
So
it's annoying now because you can't even say like when is this film going to be set or whatever, because when is anything set now?
Well, yeah, because
and if it's in the and if it's in the TVA, it's irrelevant. Could be set fucking
TVA, yeah, it just exists always. Yeah. Like it's a weird concept.
In the comics as well, I can't remember her name. Whoever is it?
Renslayer.
Really butcher her name. Renslayer. What's it? Yeah, Ravonna Renslayer. What's her actual name? Is it Gugu and Bathu Raw?
Gugu and Bathu Raw, yeah.
Oh, I thought I was going to fuck that up completely. Is in the comics, isn't she like Kang's love interest or something?
Yeah. She's
so, like,
going
when
to
she
find,
says she's going to find
freedom. Well, she's going to find free will, which I think the only person who has free will is the person in charge.
Top. Yeah. So she's
probably going to find the wrong Kang. Well, she.
Oh, yeah.
Bad Kang.
Bad Kang.
I want to see really good Kang. Like he's coming in like.
Yeah,
we'll get Young Avengers Kang. We'll get Young Avengers Kang. It'll happen. He'll be hero version. Before these shows came out, Kevin Feige said people won't have to watch the TV shows to understand the movies. But like, how do you say that when?
How can you? Yeah,
this is just as important. Well, yeah.
How is that? It's not possible.
No, because you need to know this.
Do you know the timeline of the MCU, like the way you'd watch the films? Where would you even watch Loki now? Because you could watch it immediately after Avengers, but then it feels really weird to watch it there and then watch everything else after.
I think you'd have to watch it after Endgame.
Yeah.
Because obviously we see Loki, the end of Loki's life. For that to, resonate with you, you'd have to just place it there.
You'd probably watch Loki first, then WandaVision, then Falcon.
Oh God!
This would be immediately.
This is immediately after, isn't it? Yeah. So
it would be immediately
during it. Was during Infinity War. Infinity War, he dies, isn't it?
Yeah, but during. But
and Endgame's when he escapes.
In Endgame,
but that's also in the first Avengers. Yeah. Fucking hell!
Have you seen I've seen like there's a memes of like someone pushing dominoes, and the first domino is like. Hulk hating stairs, and then it goes the breaking the multiverse.
Yeah, that is insane, isn't it? To think like, oh, we're here now because of one small thing, which is all about the branches in the TVA and the timeline and everything. So it's cool.
To test Kevin's words that you don't have to watch the TV shows, I'm going to force my dad to go watch Doctor Strange 2 with me, and he's not going to have a fucking Scooby what's going on.
I don't think any of us will.
He's seen all the movies, but like he's a very casual watcher. He probably couldn't name a single character.
Right.
So I'm going to make him watch that and then be like, tell me what you understood.
He could have named Thor or Captain America.
I think he could add a real push.
Watching a Captain America movie.
Only because he knows he's watched a film called Thor.
Yeah.
That would be the only reason.
I'm obviously more convinced now more than ever that we are getting Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield in Spider-Man because of all these variants, and that is 100% happening.
Yeah, just after the trailer. The trailer is rumored to come out pretty soon, isn't it?
Last thing I heard was 22nd of July, maybe.
Yeah, but the film is in December, so they have to release the trailer soon.
Well, yeah. It's just it makes sense to because of what does happen in Loki. Wait until that, and it might make more sense if Loki does tie into Spider-Man. Anyway, shall we rate the series as a whole?
Yeah.
Calvin, you go first.
I'm going to give it a 4.5 out of 5. I think it is the strongest out of the 3 shows. At the end, it doesn't lack the same sort of emotional payoff as the other ones, but like I said earlier, it's because the other ones are a limited series and this is still going to be going on for God knows how many seasons they're going to do, maybe like 3, but it's really what I was looking for it's really what I was expecting quite deep into phase 4. I didn't expect it to get it this early.
Straight
Everything
away.
that it sort of introduced. And I just thought it did a great job of the pacing was great. The characters were great. Loki's great himself. The world building's great. I love the way it looked. I love the whole feel of it, the sort of like 70s style bureaucracy of it. Yeah, I definitely think it's the strongest show so far.
Nice. Jack?
I'm going to go 4.5 as well. And the only reason I'm not giving it a 5 is because of the lackluster third episode. If that was higher in my rankings, this would be an easy 5, but it was just a bit.
I watched 3 again the other night. And it does, because of where we know Loki and Sylvie end up and their relationship, it does play a lot better than when it did when it first came out, but it's still 100% the weakest episode.
Yeah.
They just like stumble at the halfway mark.
Yeah,
they all seem to so far.
Well, I think WandaVision was fucking great right until the last episode, and then it.
Yeah, but that was 9 episodes. The ones that seem to be 6 episodes, the halfway point in those seem to be more.
So they don't really know what to do with themselves.
Yeah.
And but like I really liked I don't know her name, the woman who plays Sylvie. I thought she was great.
Sophia Di Martino. Yeah, in episode 3, I was not a fan of the way she was playing it, just because I think it was so far from what I expected.
Yeah,
and obviously they were going a different route from what the trailers were suggesting of her being the big bad. But by episode 4, I was fully in on it, and I think it's purely, I think, the way that it's their chemistry really, and the way Tom Hiddleston. I believe that this Loki loves this variant version of himself, and finally they kissed.
Oh, that was immense.
Brilliant. I clapped. I loved it. As soon as that possibility got brought up, I was like, I cannot wait for Loki to fuck himself. That is an insane thing, and I can't believe they just went with it.
Yeah,
that's so good, because who's Loki going to fall in love with other than himself?
He's a narcissist. So.
Exactly, it's brilliant. I thought it was really smart. Did you both give it a 4.5?
Yeah.
I'll go a 4.5 as well. Just stumbled at the halfway mark, but it was, it's been very I think just the implications of what this show it's set up, they're massive, and it's definitely the most important one so far, and I think they really nailed it.
It's so nice as well this early on. If Kang is like the big bad now for like the foreseeable, it's so good to see that, because obviously Thanos, you get glimmers of him like throughout.
Yeah,
but we got like 25 unadulterated minutes of just pure Kang, and he fucking nailed it.
Yeah,
so
it is nice now to sort of just have an inkling of where they're going.
Yeah,
because I think there's so they announce so many movies in so many TV shows, and you're like, what is this building up to? But it's all the multiverse war. It's coming, and I'm so excited.
Coming home.
What?
Said it's coming home.
Fuck off. Right.
The multiverse is coming home, lads.
I'm not talking anymore. That's been the Keeping It Real podcast, guys. Head to Twitter and follow us at Keeping It Real UK. From there, you can find links to all our streaming platforms. Please like, rate, and subscribe where you can. I hope we're going to be back next week talking fucking Space Jam: A New Legacy.
Yeah, boy.
What else we got coming out this week? We got Escape Room 2. Anyone going to watch that?
No.
So it'll be Space Jam, probably, maybe, or we'll see you in a month. Either one.